What's up, everybody? This is episode 17 of Arav Shaurya's Interesting Ideas. Today, we are going to be talking about magnets. As you know, magnets are used to attract many objects, but they can only attract magnetic objects. Have you ever wondered why this is so? Well, to know more, let's dive into magnets. Zooming in. First of all, magnets basically have two poles, the north and south poles. They have magnetic force acting on them so they can attract objects. Second of all, a freely suspended magnet always lands in the north-south direction. This is found in compasses too when they turn to the north-south direction for the sky and the ground. This is mainly because all magnets only have the north and south poles. They don't have any east or west poles. Basically, so the next point is like poles of magnets facing each other repel, and unlike poles of magnets facing each other attract. This is because in the like poles, the magnetic force is a pushing the magnets away. Thus, this is causing the magnets to repel. However, when unlike poles are facing each other, this is a pull, or the magnetic force is bringing the magnets together. Thus, the magnets are attract each other. Fourth of all, they can only attract magnetic materials such as iron or steel. Non-magnetic materials such as gold, non-metallic objects and aluminium can't be attracted as they do not have magnetism acting on them. Only objects with magnetism can be attracted by magnets as the magnetic force attracts the magnetism. Magnetism can pass through non-magnetic objects as they do not have any magnetism blocking the objects. Thus, a paper can be stuck to the whiteboard using a magnet as the paper is a non-magnetic object and it does not have magnetism to block the magnetism in the magnet. Magnets can be used to get elastic spring force and gravitational force. How so? Let's dive in. Gravitational force is basically the force that pulls everything to the ground. It's measured in weight and mass. However, weight depends on mass, but it's not the same as mass. In the theme of forces, we will cover more about weight and mass. Right now, let's talk about how magnets can be used to get gravitational force. Like I said, gravitational force pulls objects to the center of the earth. So, magnets are laid with heavy weights and placed with unlike poles facing another magnet on the ground. This in turn causes the magnet to attract due to the pulling force of the magnetic force. Thus, this causes the magnet to do the center of the earth known as the ground. Gravitational force is acting on the magnet when it's going down, just like gravitational potential energy, which we will cover more in the theme of energy. Gravitational force is still present when we are on the ground as it's always bringing us towards the center of the earth. We will cover more about this amazing force in the theme of forces. Now, let's talk about elastic spring force. To get elastic spring force, a magnet is hung on a spring and another magnet with unlike poles are facing. Just like gravitational force, don't you think? Except this time when they are bringing down the elastic spring, spring which is made of an elastic material will spring more further and thus be compressed further. This in turn causes it to have more elastic spring force, more kind of like elastic potential energy. Elastic potential energy will be covered in the theme of energy, and elastic spring force will be covered more in the theme of forces. Now let's talk about the uses of magnets. Magnets have many uses. The first main use is that magnets are used in maglev trains. Ever wonder why maglev trains are moving so fast? Well, this is because the magnets have like poles facing each other that repel each other due to the pushing force of magnetic force, causing them to float in the air due to the pushing magnetic force. They travel faster than normal trains because they do not have frictional force acting on them. Frictional force is the force that opposes motion. It has a lot of uses, such as slowing down objects. Without friction, we could never stop moving, and thus we would not have enough energy to replenish the energy we lost. But friction also has many harms. One main harm is that it causes machines to overheat and thus break and not function properly. We can reduce friction by using ball bearings or lubricants such as oil or water. We'll cover more in the theme of forces, frictional force as well. Magnetic force is a type of force that is also used in forces. The second main use is that they are used in refrigerators. Magnets are used to place on the refrigerator because they are both made of magnetic materials. The material of the fridge used to make the refrigerator has a magnet inside it, which is the unlike pole of the magnet facing the unlike pole of the magnet. Thus, the unlike pole of that magnet will attract the unlike pole of the magnet attached to it. In conclusion, magnets have many different properties and are fascinating. I will cover more about I will refer to magnets in the theme of energy and forces as well, as it's really fascinating. Till then, see you in the next video, and zooming out.